part. So I haven't got there yet. So eventually I will. But yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So what we're going to do is, I just wanted to show you. This is actually very interesting, just for interest's sake. This is actually by Van Gogh. This is actually a picture by Van Gogh. So that's how he used to plan his paintings. People don't realize it. That everybody seems to think, well, a lot of people seem to think that he just literally went out and just painted, and he didn't. He literally planned all of his colors. So what he would do is, when I went to the Van Gogh Museum, I saw some of the letters that he wrote to his brother, and he would literally send him a sketch like this, and he put the French ultramarine, or he'd put the cadmium yellow, whatever he was going to use in that particular painting. So he was very meticulous about his paintings, how he planned his paintings. And then this is basically, if you go and look on the internet, you go and look up Van Gogh's pen and ink drawings, you'll find all of these
Sure.
pictures. Yeah, so he literally planned his paintings by actually sketching them out with pen and ink first. So you can see used all of the lines, and you can actually see this obviously in his paintings. And that's why he's got all these wonderful brush strokes in that his paintings. So he did actually plan it. It wasn't just a quick painting. Okay. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly move on. I just want to keep an eye on the time because I want to actually go into something just now. Okay, so we're just going to carry on quickly with some of these textures. I just want to make sure you can see properly on your side there. Okay, so we've done that one. I'm not going to worry okay, we can do this one. Why not? Why not? What the hell? So there you're just going to be coloring in between. Okay, so there's just a random line. You can do your own little pattern here. You don't have to follow that one in particular. We're just going to have a dark sort of area in between. So I've done it quite big. So yeah, so as I said, if your hand is cramping, then just do it a little bit bigger. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just color this area in and make it dark. And then move on and then follow that line again. Now, funny, you'll actually find sometimes either your hand will cramp or your thumb. I know it sounds strange, but your thumb can actually also get a cramp in it.
Just want to check with you. The
Yeah.
one below the one that you're busy doing at the moment.
Yes.
Are those dots in lines?
Yes. Yeah. I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like dots and then little lines in between as well. I'll show it to you just now. Yeah, those will be little dots together. Okay. All right. So I've done that woody. It almost looks a bit like sort of woodish. I don't want to actually go into every single one of these. I sort of want to pick the ones, especially these bottom ones. I don't want to go into every single one because a lot of them are sort of similar to what you've already done. So I don't really see the point of doing those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather concentrate on doing something just now where we're actually going to shade some forms to make them look round, etc. So don't worry, you don't have to have hectic drawing skills to do that. So it's fine. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to do this one that you were talking about, the one underneath there. So this one over here. Okay. So that'll be sort of almost like dots going down quite close to each other, but also in a line. Okay, so it's actually stippling, but it's stippling in a line.
That's easier with the marker pens.
Yes. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, you can do it now. I mean, I'm using the ballpoint pen and it's actually working quite well.
I think my ballpoint's getting dry.
Oh, is it? Have you got another one on hand somewhere?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
All right. Okay, and then at the bottom here, I'm just going to go sideways. Exactly the same, but just doing the line sideways. Get it bigger for you guys. And the thing is, you know, guys, you may not think that you can actually do this with a bigger pen, but just to show you while you're busy doing that, just for interest's sake, if you're working on a very large piece of paper and you're doing a large picture, all of these marks, I'm just using, this is actually a whiteboard marker of all things. But you can actually do all of these same marks with these pens. So if you're working on a nice big picture, a huge picture, you can actually use a bigger, thicker pen. Do you know what I mean? And you can still get quite a lot of the marks if you learn to control it properly. Stippling, obviously this is wonderful for stippling.
Yes.
Nice cover a big area very quickly. And I mean your random mark as well. So this is great if you've got so you've got a nice big permanent marker and you just want to make a nice big drawing of, say, a lady with curly hair or something. And you can just choose a nice big marker like that. Okay, so you can have quite a lot of fun with a big marker. It doesn't have to be a fine sort of pen. Okay. Yeah, so as I said, and also when they get dry as well, it's also quite fun. That's another thing as well, the permanent markers. If your permanent markers, if your fine liners actually start getting dry, don't throw them away, because you get this wonderful scratchy sort of feeling, almost like when I use the back of that permanent, the dipping pen and nib. Actually, then you get this lovely dry sort of effect, you know, and you can incorporate that into your drawings. So it can be quite fun to use. So, okay. All right. So I'm not going to worry about doing that one or stippling. So we've sort of basically done stippling over there. I'm not going to worry too much about that one. Okay, this one's quite interesting.
Actually, I want to see that one. What is that? How do you do that?
This
now,
one.
Yeah.
That's the one we're going to do next. Okay, so what we're going to do there is you're going to do almost a hatching going down. Okay, so hatching lines. Like so, and then I'm just going to make a note that that's where I want to stop it, and then this one's going to be lighter and the other's going to be darker. So what I'm going to do there is just lines going down like that. If you want to, you can turn your page, but make sure these are lightish. They're not going to be too dark, so make them quite light. If you want to, you can make them all evenly spaced, but you don't have to. It can add a bit of variation. Just make sure the angle's all the same. When I join that, so now I'm going to make this line darker underneath there because I want this whole thing to be darker. So I'm going to darken that bottom line again. So go over it again, like so. And then I'm going to do this quite dark. So I'm literally going to just go over 2 or 3 times. Do you guys want me to put a little bit of music in the background, or are you guys okay?
Either way is fine for me.
You can put Beak up in the background.
Yeah, where is he? Actually, I don't even know where he is at the moment. He's probably in my house, busy destroying something.
Eating something.
Probably. No, he was sitting on a chair just now. I'll actually bring him into class to actually sit here. He might actually enjoy it. So yeah.
I miss his biscuits. I mean the
lemon creams.
yes.
Yeah, no. You should have seen him on when was it, on Monday when I did was it Tuesday? I can't remember. Anyway, when I took him and I went to and I chatted to everybody in a half an hour, and I was busy eating lemon cream, so I was giving him lemon cream, and then he kept on climbing onto my knee to grab the one in my hand. So I hid it behind the iPad, and then he climbed onto the table, and he went and got it from behind the iPad. And then he went into the biscuit tin and he took a whole lemon cream out of the biscuit tin.
Oh my goodness.
So Janine, if you're wondering who Beak is, it's an African grey, okay? So,
Oh my, I thought it's a cat.
no.
We have an African there.
I'll
Nice.
introduce him to you right at the end, okay?
I'd love to see him.
Okay, so yeah, he's part of the class. So normally when the kettle goes on at 11 o'clock, he walks in through the class amongst everybody because he knows he's going to get lemon cream. Okay, so we're going to just do this one. So that's your random mark quickly. So because I want you to practice the random mark here.
Your video is on.
It's off.
Whose is off? Hello?
I see you.
Oh,
Karen.
me? You see me?
Yeah, Karen, your video's on.
No, she's not. Karen's video is not on. It's all from my side.
We see Karen, but it's frozen.
No, it's just her face.
But it's big.
Oh, okay. Well, you just must drag your just click on me again to make it big. You know, it does that sometimes. Sometimes it just takes up half the screen. I don't know why it does it. It's just one of those weird, occasional things that Skype does. I haven't quite figured out why it does that, but it does do that occasionally.
You must try.
Yeah. Karen? Yeah, Karen, your microphone has gone off. I think you were trying to talk to us.
I think somebody muted me. If you don't like me, don't mute me.
Oh, I didn't know you
I
could
said,
mute.
but-
I didn't know you could
Yeah,
mute
but
a person.
I said I think you must try Zoom. Maybe Zoom will work better.
Okay, maybe we must do a test run at some stage and try Zoom. I'll get everybody to download Zoom, and then maybe we can just try one session with Zoom. Okay, cool. Yeah. But then can you make me big on the page though? So it won't be a problem.
Yeah. With
Is it?
Zoom as well, you I think you also mute or something like that. Or you can also have where it's got different screens, so you can have the one screen where you just the one talking, or you will mute us on your side, and
Yes.
you can also you can mute us on your side as well with Zoom.
Okay, no, but I don't mind. I mean, when you guys chat in the background, I don't have an issue with that at all. So yeah, but let's just try Zoom. Maybe it'll be better quality. I don't know. We'll have to maybe give it a try and see if it works better. You know, my son's got Zoom, so I'll actually ask. Yeah, I'll try Zoom.
About Zoom is if you don't get the paid version, which is expensive, you are limited to 40 minutes per session.
Yeah.
And it goes off.
Oh, okay.
Or otherwise you pay.
Oh, okay. That's not going to help because ours is like 3 hours usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, so you'd have to have 40 minutes and then restart it again.
Yes. Then you
I see.
start again.
Karen,
Yeah.
even if I click on you and show full page, I've still got Karen's video on.
Yes.
Yes,
Me
and I've
Not
got Sharon frozen. So I'll put my video on and then I'll put it off again.
No,
okay.
Sharon, I haven't got Sharon frozen, but I've still got Karen's
No,
not
but
frozen,
it's
but Lydia's on.
okay. There is a phone.
Okay,
Now
now
you
it's
see me.
Hang on.
Now
a minute.
you see me like Zuma's mask last night. Now you don't see my mask.
there.
now
Yes.
Now it's off.
Am I gone?
Yeah,
Yes.
now it's just Sharon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but your
Ladies,
video is
ladies, you must just tell me if you don't like my face, ne?
your video is off, but your mic's on. Yeah.
Ah, Karen, man. Okay. Cool. All right. So we sorted. Okay. So yeah, random mark. So I want you to practice this random mark because it's just a lovely way to work. And then I've just made it lighter, and then I'm going to make it darker here by just going over into the bottom half again, using exactly the same sort of random marks to make it darker. Like
Yeah.
so. Go. And that's a nice dark version at the bottom there. Okay, so what I've done here is, so this is more the contrast of lip sizes. So what I'm doing here is basically just using harder and then softer. So I want to do this again. So here I'm going to do it, but I'm going to use the nib. I'm just going to go very softly, okay? But I want to actually go over to make it darker like I did over there. So here I'm actually just going gently on the page, making the mark a bit lighter. Okay. And then when I move down to the bottom, then I'm going to press harder with the pen. Exactly the same. You're also doing the mark. So this is just more about pressure, the pressure that you use with your pens. That's it. So there you've got two different, a light and a dark. Okay. The same here as well. These are just little lines. So those I'm going to do very softly with my pen. Those are like those little ticks going across. So this is all to do with the pressure of your pen. Like I said, that's why I offered this. You know, this literally came to me while I was busy sweeping the leaves up on the lawn, and I was wondering what else I could offer besides the Alaprima and the charcoal. And I thought, no, but you know what? Everybody's got a pen. Not everybody's got charcoal. Not everybody's got paint. But everybody's got a pen, you know, and you can get a pen anyway. So yeah, so I thought it's a good way to give something for some people to do, you know. Okay, then over here I'm going to then just press harder. Okay, so this
I
is when
lost your picture.
Sorry,
I lost your picture.
am I completely gone?
Yeah, keep calm, Hakuna Matata. Let me try again.
That's strange. Okay, just Karen,
On my
just exit and come back in again, and then just join the group again. Let's see what happens.
okay.
Okay. It's anything with technology. Sometimes these things just decide they're not going to work properly. Is this light enough for you guys? You can see properly, hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just see. She comes back. I have a feeling it's something to do with. Okay. Okay, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Awesome. Cool.
Now we see you again.
Neeman. Okay,
What?
let me do this again.
Just put your video on and off again, and then I'm sure it
I'm
will work.
putting it on. When will I see you again?
Hello. Now you're off.
Am I off?
Okay.
Now.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Right. One just has to deal with these little idiosyncrasies.
What are you doing? Random marks? Or what are you doing
No,
now?
this is just a little tick. So this is just very lightly done with a pen. Yeah, very lightly done with a pen. And then that's done a little bit harder with a pen, basically, just to make it a bit darker. So we're just working with pressure of the pen at the moment. Okay. So here, what it says on your page here is contrast of pen nib sizes. So if you were using the two different pen nibs, then I would show you how it would work. It would be the very thin one, like so. Just find the very thin one and the thicker one. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I've got two different pen nib sizes here. So this would be showing the contrast with the pen nib sizes. So I'm just going to do this here while I was still busy there.
Is it a 01?
This is a 01, yeah.
Mm.
There's obviously the smaller one. There's a 005 and there's 003. So that's with the different pen nib sizes. So that's now the thinner one. And then this is now the thicker one. So you don't have to press harder. It just isn't automatically darker. Can you see there?
Mm.
Okay, so that's when you're using a different sizes of your pens.
You know my blocks are getting smaller, ne?
Oh, sorry. Make them bigger. No, but this is quite small.
No, my blocks, not yours. Mine.
Okay. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if it's small, it's quicker.
I think that's what happened over here. I think that's what happened with me. I was making this small and I realized that actually you guys can't actually see properly if I do that. Okay, so here, this one over here is not the random mark. This is the more controlled one, almost a bit like that one over there. So there we're going to think about having a different type of, it is sort of a random mark, but you actually controlling it a little bit more. It's not quite as random as that. Okay, so I'm just going to make it darker this side. Press harder. And then just lighter on that side. Just gently. There we go. Okay,
That's
this
like
one,
the side of a tree.
it could actually, yeah, you could actually use that for a tree, definitely, most for sure. And then this is dark line. So this is the sketchy sort of pressing quite hard here. And exactly the same mark, but just softer.
That fabric light one is the most difficult for me. I can't get it.
Which one is that?
The very last one in the corner at the bottom.
Oh, this one here. Well,
Yes.
that's just cross hatching basically. So, but it's quite small cross hatching. Okay, so I'm going to do this one next. I'm not going to worry about the grassy one over there. I'm going to do this one next. So that's quite a fun one to do. We're going to make it quite dark in the middle here. So we just start off with a general shape. So make sure you've got a nice shape going there. And then the shape follows out. We keep those dark. And then eventually we're going to go out. As we go out, we're going to start going a little bit lighter. Not pressing so hard. Also, when you press hard, when you're pressing harder, obviously it gets darker, and then go lighter. Actually looks quite cool.
Sharon,
Yeah,
I'm so glad Linda joined in on this one.
awesome. Why?
So that when I'm not able to do this one with my teachers, that she can do it.
She's your
Standby.
No, we've got no, Linda, I had enough time to rest.
True.
she's your backup.
Yeah,
My
she's
backup.
backup. But the backup also didn't work the last time, because the backup got sick as well.
I know.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, goodness.
Sure.
Okay, so then we're just going to do, this one is basically the stippling. So stipple very lightly with your pen here, very, very lightly. Just touch it, barely touch the paper, just so you can just get a basic mark there. If you want to, you can make it more random. You don't have to go in a line like I'm doing. It might be a bit easier for you if you just make it more random stippling like that. It doesn't have to be a line. What's nice is you can keep these pages. Just put them in a A4 plastic folder. You know, they're nice to have on hand if you're thinking about creating something. Then
I'm doing it in my visual diary.
Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. And then here I'm basically just pressing a bit harder.
This one looks like tea leaves at the bottom of a cup.
Yeah, you're right. It does, yeah. One of those people that does the reading of the tea leaves.
No, I don't. Oh,
I'd love to know. I'm sure they just look at the patterns and they see something in there and they say, okay, they make it the story.
Exactly.
Although I must be honest, there was something quite interesting the other day. My husband and I were watching a documentary on a motorcyclist. And when he didn't want to get married because he rode very fast, you know. I can't think of the guy's name offhand. And one day he went to a psychic or whatever you want to call her, fortune teller or whatever. And this woman told him that he mustn't worry. He's only down when he's 40 and he's going to be killed. It's going to be there's going to be a truck involved. He's not going to die on a motorcycle. And anyway, so he got married. He had kids and everything. And on his 40th not his birthday, but in his 40th year, he went out to go and buy some milk and bread or whatever it is. He went to the shops with his 2 kids in his car, and a truck swerved and crashed into him and killed him and his 1 child.
Oh,
And it was
no.
and he lived with that. He just said no, he knew he wasn't going to die on a motorcycle. And that's he actually, that is how he died. It was actually quite scary. No, sorry, it was just like we just thought, no, that's just like so weird. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it makes you wonder sometimes if people can actually see into the future. Oh goodness me. Anyway, not that I don't want to see when I'm going to die. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I live each day for the day that I have. Thank you. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so so this is the carpety effect that you were talking about. So this one is this is a bit more controlled. So this one you're going to be doing. So I'm going to do the top part first, very, very carefully, just very lightly. It's not going to look as nice as that one. I'm not going to spend quite as much time on that one as you would need to. But I'm just going to do it very lightly with my pen here. Try and control. Try and get
Is it cross-hatching now?
That's cross-hatching, yeah. So that's just your standard cross-hatching. Yeah, and then the bottom part is then obviously going to be darker lines going down.
I think it's also one needs a very steady hand.
You do, absolutely. No, I agree with you.
Mine just looks like frayed wool.
You know what I find as well is if you go too slowly, then it tends to not make a straight line. So if you're trying to go slowly, okay, well, that didn't really work so well. So the slower you go, the more shaky your hand is. So I find you've got to find the right sort of speed, like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you can
like
sort of get.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's to do with your speed as well, especially when you're doing a straight line. You know, like if you're trying to draw a long straight line, if you try and draw it slowly, you're going to have wriggles in it. As if you steady your hand on your paper and you make one straight line, you tend to make it straighter, if that makes sense.
True.
To do with your, yeah, so it's definitely to do with your speed. So if you go too slowly, then it tends to go a little bit wiggly. But you're also trying to control it. I know what you mean, but it's to do with hand-eye coordination. So I mean, mine doesn't look anything like that. As you said, it looks slightly frayed. But if I wanted that, I would have to sit and be very, very careful about how I did it. Okay,
Meticulous.
spend the time to meticulous about it. But I mean, you know, you got to draw a line somewhere. Okay, I didn't mean that. That wasn't meant as a pun. It really wasn't meant as a pun. It just came out the way it came out. Sorry, but yeah. You have to draw a line somewhere where you want it to be absolutely perfect and controlled, and you'll have some of those pictures that are like that, or you'll have the ones that have got the slightly more looseness to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys finish those off quickly, and then I'm just going to get a new page out Salon. In actual fact, I'm going to use this as my reference for the afternoon class. I'm not going to use the originals. Okay. So while you're busy finishing off, so whenever you're doing something new, so say you're working off a photograph or something like that, the best thing to do is to take a 2H pencil or just a very light pencil. Oh, look, if you haven't got a 2H, you know, HB is something that you can always buy in a shop anyway, and it's not too dark. Then you would initially then sketch out the outlines of your picture. So if you guys join one of the classes where I actually do a demo of a particular picture, then what you'll do is you'll be sketching the basic outlines of that picture out onto your paper with a pencil, because the pencil you can erase, and then we will work with that as a template basically, just so that you've got an idea, because you don't want to work too free unless you're just doing something out of your head, then obviously that's different, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, but so I'm going to use basic shapes. Can I go on? Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good?
Yes, we're all good. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is just go through some basic forms. So we've got about another half an hour left. This is creating volume in your pictures, eh? Okay. So what I'm going to do is just use your basic forms. I'm not going to worry too much about any specific forms. Anybody can draw these forms. Okay. So, for instance, now let's just do a pear or a butternut, because we always end up with a sort of a somebody ends up with a pear and somebody ends up with a butternut. So we'll see what yours turns out to be. So I just want you to draw a basic shape like that. Okay. You can decide if it's a pear or a butternut.
Ek gaan doen Afrikaanse sinne. Afrikaanse toepassings. Spelling en reëls en sinne. En sinne.
Shame, Natasha, your kids trying to do their schoolwork.
I'm so sorry, I thought I'm off speaker.
No, don't worry, it's fine. You spoke so nicely, so it's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I want you to stick to random mark for the moment, because I want you to get more of a feel for that, and all the others are very controlled ways of marking, and I don't want you to do that right now. I want you to get a little bit looser, because now you've spent so much time, your hands are probably quite tired from controlling. Before I forget, I just want to